7 Best European Countries to be Self-Employed. Taking the jump and going for self-employment in your home might be difficult, but you can always move to some other country that might afford you a better opportunity to do so. Several European countries provide benefits that might assist self-employed expatriates to live a more fulfilling life in their new home. Another advantage of remaining in Europe is that you will continue to enjoy a good quality of life. When it comes to working for yourself in a foreign nation, the following 7 European countries have some of the most favorable prospects and tax rates for individuals considering making the leap. Number 7. Portugal. Making the decision to become self-employed in Portugal may be an excellent choice. Living in Portugal and working as a yoga instructor, freelance graphic designer, or craftsman can be appealing. However, the legal position of self-employed workers in Portugal is different from that of other countries. The laws are also different, while the taxation systems are far from similar. The official establishment and closure of this sort of corporation are relatively straightforward and do not need the completion of much tedious documentation. Self-employed persons in Portugal can benefit from the exemption of VAT if they are registered in the simplified tax system and have an annual turnover of less than 10,000 euros. The unemployment allowance is available to all self-employed individuals who have keyed into the system for a minimum of 2 consecutive years. It should be underlined that the cessation of professional activity will have to occur by chance rather than on purpose. A self-employed individual may be forced to cease his firm if his income falls below a certain level or if the overall economic conditions of the country force him out of business. This qualifies him for unemployment compensation. Number 6. France. Since 2008, several thousands of self-employed individuals have been thriving in France. This demonstrates the fact that the number of self-employed French people has been gradually increasing since 2008. According to the country's Census Bureau, the number of self-employed individuals rose from 2.5 million in 2008 to over 3 million in 2018. New laws for freelancers and small entrepreneurs have been implemented, making it easier to establish one's own firm or operate as a freelancer in France. If seeking employment in France is not something you are interested in doing, new French legislation has made it easier for foreigners to start a small business in the country. In France, you may now start a small business or work as a self-employed person or a freelancer under the new micro-enterprise regime, which combines the previous self-employed and micro-enterprise regimes. Some freelancers in France can also become a member of a workers' cooperative instead of working on their own. It is quite simple to register and operate your firm as a micro-enterprise in France. It has streamlined tax and accounting regulations, and you may pay your taxes and social charges online, thereby saving time and money. Number 5. Latvia. Self-employment is governed by civil law, which is a branch of the legal system in Latvia. In Latvia, the number of people working for themselves is growing. Self-employed workers, however, do not have access to any collective representation or collective bargaining rights. The subject of employment and working conditions for self-employed individuals is a complicated one to dissect. On the one hand, self-employed individuals have the freedom to structure their job, including the location of their workplace, working hours, and labor taxes, in the manner that is most convenient for them. Their working conditions are neither supervised nor controlled. As a result, they are not covered by labor protection regulations. When it comes to self-employed people, the term wage levels is meaningless because the money they get as compensation for their labor is termed work income. The labor income of self-employed persons is not statistically documented at the national level. Because of the special tax relief and tax benefits available to self-employed individuals, as well as the more comprehensive inclusion of costs, they earn more from gross work remuneration than employed individuals under the conditions established by law. For instance, the costs of fuel used in private cars for work purposes are eligible costs for self-employed persons, while in companies, these costs are treated as personal income and taxed. On the other hand, self-employed people do not have the same amount of social security coverage as those who are employed. Number 4. The Czech Republic. Although many people connect the Czech Republic with only one city, Prague is only one of many attractive and welcoming places in the country. Brno is a city in the heart of the Czech Republic that is steeped in history. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, Český Krumlov boasts a stunning castle and is a popular tourist destination. Karlovy Vary, on the other hand, is a popular riverfront spa district. Expats will discover that living in the Czech Republic is relatively inexpensive, regardless of where they choose to live. The Czech government is fighting hard to stay away from the clutches of the Eurozone, and so far, there have been no increases in the cost of living in the Czech Republic, thanks to this concerted effort. Many of the European nations to the west of the continent, particularly those in the Mediterranean region, impose high tax rates on self-employed persons, including residents and foreigners. The Czech Republic is about as far west as it gets in terms of being able to work as a self-employed foreigner while yet benefiting from a relatively low income tax rate of 15%. Number 3. Bulgaria. In recent years, there has been an increase in both the absolute number of self-employed people and the proportional percentage of self-employed workers in the total labor force. This is due to the consistent and fairly strong economic growth of 5 to 6% average, which has resulted in an increase in entrepreneurial activity as well as an increase in the need for personnel. At the same time, self-employment continues to be connected with low levels of social security coverage in a large number of instances. The undeniable fact is that the self-employed people cut across a diverse group, covering retail merchants, farmers, and home workers on the one hand, and highly trained groups of freelancers such as attorneys, consultants, physicians, and artists on the other. In terms of salary and working conditions, there are no official statistics. Number 2. Estonia. Estonia has begun to flourish since becoming a member of the European Union in May 2004. The most northern Baltic country offers many excellent benefits to expats from anywhere in the globe, including the ability to work as self-employed individuals. If you are not a citizen of the European Union, you will need to ensure that you have a viable business plan as well as an initial investment of around 16,000 euros. The only true drawback to living in Estonia is the long, dark winters. In December and January, the number of hours of daylight seldom surpasses 6 hours, and temperatures as low as minus 15.8 degrees Fahrenheit are common while snowstorms are a constant feature. Tallinn, the country's capital, is a fairy tale city that draws a large number of visitors and expats alike to its charm. Even while Estonia's income tax is a manageable 20% as compared to Finland's 51.60%, most self-employed people of the country thank their lucky stars. Number 1. The United Kingdom. Over the period of 1992 to 2021, there were more males than females among the self-employed. According to statistics, there are currently over 2.8 million men and 1.5 million women who are self-employed in the United Kingdom. The age bracket 45 to 54 has the largest number of self-employed persons with a little over 1.3 million individuals. This demonstrates the fact that middle-aged adults have the highest rates of self-employment. In response to the coronavirus pandemic, the UK government announced a number of initiatives to help companies and people manage the economic implications of the virus. By December 2020, the Self-Employment Income Support Scheme (SEIS) expectedly reached its third iteration, or tranche, which would have provided financial assistance to self-employed employees. There were 2.7 million claims submitted during the first tranche, which ran from March to July. 2.4 million and 1.7 million claims were submitted during the second and third tranches, respectively. Approximately 14.5 billion British pounds was the total monetary worth of these claims as of the 13th of December 2020. As the popularity of self-employment continues to expand, all governments throughout the world will probably discover new methods to accommodate this type of way of life in the near future. According to Payoneer's data, the nations where freelancers' earnings climbed the most year-on-year were Spain, 78%, the United Kingdom, 59%, France, 48%. Since the nations involved are spread across North and South America, Europe, and Asia, there is no one place that is particularly lucrative for this sort of employment. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and turn on the notification bell. This is Learning Canteen.